1.5. Okay, let's keep rolling right now. Moving on to Phillies Nationals. Spencer Howard. He's a tricky guy to figure out. He's one of the big prospects for the Phillies, and he's yet to go more than 4 2/3 in any of his 3 starts. And that's going up against a Nats team that's lost 3 straight and really, really needs a win. Howard's gone 11 2/3, 6.17 ERA, 2.06 WHIP. Both teams underachieving this year. 12-14 Phillies, 11-17 Nats. I have both teams season win total under, so I'm pleased. Phillies versus righties. Phillies offense is strong. It's their pitching that's terrible. 268, 782 OPS. Nationals versus righties, 245, 717 OPS. Phillies bullpen just trash. 7.52 ERA, 1.93 WHIP. But Brandon Workman, 2 hits and got the save last night in a 3-2 win. And going up against Scherzer, who's not being great this year. And last outing, 7 hits, 4 runs, 4 2/3 against the Marlins. I've stayed away from taking the overs when he's pitched just because of the vividness bias. The over in this is 9. Scherzer opening up at minus 185. He's now minus 175. Take it away, Bobano. Phillies, Nats.
Yeah, I haven't bet it yet. I do have a lean to the over in this start. I mean, 2 straight overs for Scherzer, and he's not looked great, in these last 2 outings that he's taken the mound. Far from Scherzer-like. And I said coming into the season that watch him sort of not be great this year, because we saw signs of this in the second half last year and in the playoffs. He was giving up way more home runs, and that was definitely an alarming sign from Scherzer down the stretch of last season. And you look at him so far this year, 4 home runs in his last 2 starts, and for the season, he's given up 5 home runs. So, he had a little stretch there. We went without giving up a home run, but the home runs have been an issue again the last couple starts, giving up 4 in his last 2 outings. So that's a concern. And the Phillies do have some pop with Rhys Hoskins and Bryce Harper, who's actually starting to hit the ball out of the yard. So there's definitely some concerns here for Scherzer. Spencer Howard, you're right, prospect. I think he's Joe Girardi, the manager, saying he's just struggling to find the strike zone consistently. Walks have been an issue. He's getting behind in counts. You can't afford to have that happen. Maybe a young guy that's overthinking it, trying to do a little bit too much, trying to be a little bit too fine out there. That's sometimes what a young pitcher like him can get into. The good news is he was a lot better in his last start. He struggled in his first 2 outings against the Braves and the Mets. But last time against a really good Jays lineup, remember, the Jays offense is in good form right now. Only gave up a run, 3.2 innings. Obviously, the pitch count has gotten up. He hasn't pitched deep into these games, which is a concern because you got the Phillies pen. But that's exactly why I was leaning full game over, Jimmy, because if you're betting the full game over, you'll want to see more of that Philadelphia Phillies bullpen. One of the worst in baseball for sure. And Washington's not got a lockdown pen either. I still might bet it, but for sure, if I'm looking at anything, I'm not going to get involved in the side. But total-wise, definitely have some interest looking over the total.
I'm going to go ahead and bet the over with perfect weather conditions for it. The wind 12 miles per hour out to straightaway center. It's humid. It's just a perfect first pitch is at 87 Fahrenheit, but it feels like 97. This is feels like a spot here to take advantage of the over. And I wonder if even one of the things that happens when these young kids get to go up against a legend like Scherzer is they do step up. But I'm very comfortable here. Big Creeker, what up?
This is one of those starts, Jimmy, or games that when you handicap it, you're not even really handicapping the starters. Even Scherzer at times, he hasn't exactly eaten up innings at times this year. And certainly Spencer Howard, he hasn't gone beyond 3-4 innings in most of his starts. It's not so much about you believe the starting pitching is going to lead to runs. Bullpens are going to lead to runs. You're going to think about this. You're going to see the Phillies bullpen potentially, if Spencer Howard's previous starts are any indication, you're going to see that bullpen out there, that lousy, pathetic, can barely get an out bullpen, for 5 innings in this game potentially, 4 or 5 innings. That's going to give you plenty of opportunities to cash this over. So you got to look at it that way. Bullpens, it has to be a part of your handicapping in MLB now more than ever.
Yeah, I like it. Detroit, what's saying super hot here in Detroit as well. Muggy. Black Rogue says Phillies a big dog. I think this is a good spot for an over. D Summers, no, we don't have the taint in right now. We have not seen Matt Randall in the chat. I'm going to take the over 9. I think that's a nice look, especially after the low-scoring game. Yes, not that has anything to do with it. But low-scoring game yesterday. Perfect weather conditions for an over.